There has been a lot of problems going on so far with CD Projekt Red and their current ongoing production with The Witcher 4, but I could say, and I believe that we could all say, that the biggest problem that has been going on for The Witcher 4 and CD Projekt Red is their franchise and lore designer, Cyan Maher. Now, I'm not sure if I pronounced his name properly, but I'm sure everybody knows who I'm talking about. Yep, the same guy who has been going online and talking about how he wants to punch gamers and how he sees gamers. Now, I don't really get why he's doing this. Maybe some kind of unresolved grudge or trauma against the gaming community, but at the same time, I still don't get why you, as someone who works with a company, would go on to insult and more or less threaten, even though he can't really do it, the people that are buying your company's game or product. And that just sounds like it's bad for business. And it seems that he has gone above and beyond with his current statement, where he described Cyberpunk 2077 players as fascistic, unempathetic, and depraved, as well as poisonous and predatory wankers. And if you're once again wondering what I'm referring to, I'm referring to the article posted by John F. Trent on Phantom Pulse, where he goes and says CD Projekt Red's franchise and lore designer for The Witcher 4 describes Cyberpunk 2077 players as fascistic, unempathetic, and depraved, as well as poisonous predatory wankers. And for those of you who still are not familiar with who Maher is, he has been working at CD Projekt Red since April 2023, and he previously worked at The Gamer from September 2020 through December 2021 as an associate editor and then lead features editor. Furthermore, Maher wrote an article published in December 2020 at The Gamer titled "People Who Call Cyberpunk 2077 Perfect Are People That Cyberpunk Warns Us Against." Now, I have seen Cyberpunk gameplay, but I haven't played it myself because it's not my kind of game. But at the same time, I don't really get why he's saying this, at the very least, not the manner in which he is saying it. Further in the article, he declared, "While I can recognize that CG Projekt Red's marketing of Cyberpunk 2077 leaned into the edgelord egos of a demographic that rhymes with bincel and sheer volume of people who have exposed themselves as irredeemably malicious lowlives over the past few months, and the past few days in particular, is not just disheartening, but legitimately frightening. I was always aware of the malevolent mob, although I never recognized its alarming number of proponents." Now, I think what Maha is trying to say here is that while he understands why CD Projekt Red is advertising Cyberpunk 2077, he doesn't really like it, or it doesn't sit right with him, because he has seen the kind of people that play Cyberpunk. And what I have to say to that is, if he's basing this judgment off of the kind of people that we see on the internet, then I sincerely feel that he may not be the smartest person on the planet, even though he may seem like he is, because of the fact that you're judging people based off their internet persona, when we all know that people on the internet are usually never serious and are just joking around or saying things that they don't really mean, even when the consequences of what they're saying could be very dire. Now, while I completely understand where Cyan is coming from here, I still don't understand why he's doing it the way he's doing it, because he's only making things worse, not just for himself, but the people who are also affected by these cyberpunk players who may be irredeemable by his standards. And at the same time, he's also making things worse for CD Projekt Red, as we have already seen countless times online. And even within Maha's article, that wasn't all he said. He also made mention of how certain Cyberpunk 2077 players were harassing people on the internet. One of them was a writer named Liana Rupert, where she talked about how people had been sending her essentially graphical images or scenes from the game, or anything to be honest, that were triggering her in one way or the other, which here she specified as seizures. And while I understand that the people who did this were horrible and disgusting people, at the same time, he once more was generalizing that all Cyberpunk 2077 players are the ones who do this, when that is not the case. I know a lot of people who play Cyberpunk 2077, and there are by far some of the most wholesome people you will meet. They just have different taste in games than what you would expect from their personalities. However, later in the article, he claimed that Cyberpunk 2077 was harassing so-called trans people, and he proceeded to write, and I quote, I wonder if they realize that by harassing trans writers who have rightfully and justifiably critiqued Cyberpunk 2077's haphazard and sometimes harmful representation of trans people, they themselves are the exact kind of people that Cyberpunk is designed to destroy. Fascistic, unempathetic, and depraved proponents of a regime designed to foster irreversible and indiscriminate misery in technophilic dystopia. Now, while I get what he's trying to say here, I don't really respect or stand by it because I don't believe that people who are trans are people who are worth listening to. Because whether or not you're going to call me someone, you're going to call me a bigot or something, I really don't care. I'm just going to flat out say it right now. There are two genders. There will always only be two genders. And if you think otherwise, you are either an illiterate who doesn't know biology or never went to school, or someone who is mentally ill. And I hope you get treatment and are treated for whatever is affecting you. And in one of his posts on X, he also seemed to claim that he wanted to punch gamers. And in another post, he seemed to also refer to gamers as toxic little weirdos. So what do you guys think about what Cyan Maha is saying on the internet? Do you think that what he's saying would affect CD Projekt Red as well as The Witcher's launch? Or will it just become another guy on the internet who defends the mentally ill, who can't tell the difference between the two genders? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you enjoy my comment, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This is the Minecraft Villager, signing off.